My name's Anthony, and I'm cycling with my friend Matt, and we're trying to cycle around the world on an 18,000-mile trip to raise money for Brain Tumor UK. It's in memory of our friend Tony Young, who was supposed to also cycle. He passed away from a brain tumour a year before we left. He'd been living in London for a number of years, and he wanted to emigrate back to New Zealand, where he's from. So he was using it as a method to get home. We're carrying some of his ashes with us, and we scatter them where we feel appropriate. Tony worked at a school in North London, so that was our start point in Hampstead, North London. Massively underprepared. Like, leaving the school was the first time I'd been on the bike with all the bags. Big crowd of people. And I was leaving, I thought, this is a bit of a joke here. It felt like a joke. We cycled down to Portsmouth and took the ferry to France and cycled through France, Spain and Portugal to Lisbon, where we flew to New York and cycled across America to San Francisco. America's actually the friendliest kind of nation we probably met, and they were genuinely amazed at what we were doing, and we turn up in Kansas, the middle of America, and there was genuine amazement of how you got there. It was incomprehensible how you got there. We then flew to New Zealand, where we visited Tony's mother, who lives in Auckland, and we spent Christmas there. We cycled down New Zealand to Queenstown. We were both keen surfers, and in New Zealand we actually both bought a surfboard and tied it to our bikes, and we used that as we surfed and cycled down the length of New Zealand. Flew to Sydney, cycled across Australia to Perth, flew to Singapore and cycled through Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, through China, into Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Our original route was actually going to be the opposite direction, so we were going to head west through Europe, Central Asia, China, and kind of New Zealand would be a year into the trip, and that's where Tony was going to stop. The thing it really needs is courage. It's just to take yourself out of that comfort zone. You've got a job, you've got a house, it's comfortable, and then we were nervous, a bit anxious, so anxious in the run-up. Making yourself homeless, making yourself unemployed feels like the wrong choice. But as soon as you've done that and you've left, it just felt right. I mean, we don't want to do it forever. We don't want to be cycling around the world years and years, but it's liberating, and the people you meet are also on kind of epic expeditions. It really does open your eyes. But then again, we've also been craving that normality of home as well in the year, so it will be that balance of trying to fit back into normality with maybe the odd adventure, but maybe not as long. We spend every minute together. Eat, sleep, cycle together. We had a row about in the shopping aisle about which cereal to buy. It culminated in a kind of silent 4 hours of fury. Tried to keep the hair cut just so I didn't look like an actual homeless man. I actually wanted to shave it off on its year's birthday. I wasn't allowed to, basically. I haven't been allowed to. People kind of convinced me that it's a symbol of the trip and I should keep it until the end. So 1 year, this is a 1 year growth. Before I left, I worked as a commercial diver. The trip feels like such a mammoth part of our lives that it would maybe be an injustice just to return to exactly the same life that I had before. I was quite surprised when I came back and people were asking about a book, and that kind of shocked me. It's just a guy on a bike.